What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Toshi today. It is the 17th, no, the 18th day of November. It's the 18th today. And here we are with about 5 days, 5.5 hours left in this week, 5.5 hours left in this day, having a very nice recovery. Very nice recovery so far. If we're looking at this on a weekly time frame, I can't believe how low you've gone. But again, we have 5 days left in this week, and look at how low you went, and yet you recovered all in the same amount of time. This is a very nice reaction to have. If this keeps up by the end of the week, you could be engulfing last week's candle. What a perfect area to bounce from. If we're looking at this from a low here, the low from your last significant high, right? This pivot. There's a reason we're taking this low, not this low. Though we could take this low. We're at the 0.5. That's somewhat of an area to find support this cycle. All right, yeah. Low to a high here. We're right at the golden ratio. And again, we're taking this low because from our all-time high, our last significant pivot, this is the low to take. So low to high, bouncing right off the golden ratio. It was calling us. Whoa! It was calling us all along. Let me turn that down. I normally don't have that on. Why is it on? Let's see. It's still on. Is there a way to silence it? Why can't I silence it? That is so weird. You guys, it won't let me silence it. It only lets me put it on vibrate. That's so weird. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Or I might have to just turn off my notifications altogether. 30428. Normally I have my phone in my case, so it doesn't make that noise when it vibrates. But I took it out because it got a little wet last night, so I left the case out to dry. Anyways, bouncing off this level, you look great. You look really good here. I think it would look fantastic for Toshi if by the end of this week you could close above last week's open, because then you effectively bounce off your golden ratio and bullishly engulf last week's candle all in one. You go from this land of desperate despair to, all right, there's hope and optimism, right? That in itself, beyond just being a bullish engulfing candle from the current price, would give you something on the lines of like a 20 to 30% pump over the next 5 days. I think you could do it. I want to look at the short-term stuff, zoom out from there, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up, okay? 1 hour time frame, looking at Toshi here. And maybe we can use the, not the Toshi 3 chart, but the Coinbase chart. There is some volume to back up this move. Hey, this looks good. This looks promising, you guys. This looks very promising. The RSI is overbought, so are the stochastics. The MACD is about to cross above the zero. I'm sure you're soon to find resistance, but I don't know if it's here. I think if you were to find resistance, it would have been this candle here, or maybe even the last candle where you're interacting with these levels. I think you want to push higher. So we're probably going to go somewhere around 30447 or higher. That'd be my guess. Somewhere around here. Maybe just below, but something a little bit higher, and then we'll consolidate for a little bit of time. But we should be moving up by the end of the day. I would think that we're closing at a higher price than we are now. Okay, that's my thoughts. It just did it again that time, but that time it wasn't loud. I don't know. Well, as long as it's quiet, that's okay. 4 hour time frame. The stochastics look great. The MACD is beat up, but we do have bullish divergence. Maybe not. Maybe no bullish divergence, actually. But you are crossing green. I mean, that's nice. The MACD isn't really helping us out at all. Stochastics and the RSI are what is to focus on, because you're breaking out of your downtrend, bouncing out of the oversold zone, reaching for higher levels in the RSI than we've seen in quite some time, really since October 28th. Stochastics, same thing. And I do think that we're just showing signs of recovery overall. 1 hour, 22 minutes left in this 4 hour candle. It's a good bit of volume coming out of these low points. If we're looking at this on a daily time frame, from a high to a low, the expectation here would be that we at least get something that would take us back to our 382, which would be at 3057, 3058. Typically, you do wick a little bit above there. So just because we get above 3057 or 58 doesn't mean that we're home free. Maybe it does. Toshi can move up very, very fast if it wants to. But likely we find resistance here, pull back to the 236 for support, and then rally to your golden ratio. With that, it's extremely common. I'm not just saying this for what I'm about to say next, but it's extremely common to bounce from the 382 to the 236 and then go up to your golden ratio. And if we look at this, it looks like we're in, if we were to do something like that, we might have an inverse head and shoulders, right? That might be exactly what it is. And it just works out perfectly with these fibs here. What would the measure move if this were an inverse head and shoulders and it were to be respected? What would the measure move be? Measure move would take you above your golden ratio, yet below your 786. Maybe we see a situation where we consolidate here, and instead of touching the golden ratio, we reach up to the 786. But I do think in a short amount of time, looking at this on a daily time frame, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of November. Toshi here now at 304316 at this level. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of November we were back at 309 or 201 even, or higher, by the end of November. Looking at the daily time frame here, we do have bullish divergence on the MACD, double bullish divergence there. A little bit of bullish divergence on the stochastics as well, and you're coming out of the oversold zone. That's nice to see. The RSI, there's no bullish divergence, but you are at some of the lowest levels that we've seen. I mean, really, since you've been listed on Coinbase. Maybe not your whole life, but since you've been listed on Coinbase, let's just see. Toshi 3. I mean, that literally might be the lowest levels on the RSI that you've ever seen in your whole life. Yes, literally. So I think the writing's on the wall, man. We're here. We're ready to find support. We got a low to a high right at the golden ratio. Right there. We're ready to go. Bullish engulfing candle. What more do you want? We're up 13% today. I bet it doesn't stop here. And really, this move, I would think, continues on to about 3056 to 3059. Consolidate, and then you continue to rally. Then before you know it, we're ripping and running. We're looking to new all-time highs. And when we do see new all-time highs for Toshi, which I would think, I mean, maybe we get to new all-time highs by the end of November, but I would think more so that happens in December. We should be rallying up to prices that are anywhere from about 0.0045 to 1 cent by the end of the year, which that's about a 10x to a 23x move by the end of the year, if not by the end of January. Somewhere in, I would think, late December to mid-January, that time frame will be up in this area here. And absolutely, by the end of the cycle, we're expecting dramatically higher targets. I am thinking that Toshi will see anything from 5 cents or higher, potentially as high as 12 cents by the end of the cycle. Anything beyond that, it's not that it's impossible to see. I think that's probably good enough. You know, that 280x, that's a lot already. We'll see. Who cares what I think? I mean, you could go a lot more. You could go a lot less. But I'm personally under the opinion that Toshi, by the end of the cycle, will see something above 5 cents. That's my expectation. Anyways, I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.